Today I'm going to show you how to change your oil on your TD6. That's the diesel motor for the Land Rover or the Lion motor. It's super easy, basic tools. Trust me when I say you don't have to go to Land Rover and pay over 300 bucks for an oil change. This cost me a total of $90, and this is the high-end fluid, high-end filters. Very easy, basic tools. The ultimate goal of this channel is to show that you can save money and do things yourself. You don't have to go to these expensive places and pay for huge labor and huge parts. Okay, so for those that aren't familiar, this is your engine bay looking in from the hood, coming down. This right here, obviously, if you don't know, it's where you fill your oil. You put new oil in, right? This is your oil filter back in here. I'll get a better shot, don't worry. But that's where the oil filter is. Really handy on top. It's not like the old diesels where they're crammed up underneath and you're walking all over the place. It's super easy. This motor is designed to have a suck out tube, but that requires a special tool to get the oil out. And I'm going to show you today that you don't need to buy that. You can do this normally from the belly pan underneath. If you want to buy the tool, you go ahead. I don't want to because it's like 200 bucks. Now we're going to go underneath and pull the shields so we can drain this bad boy. Okay, we're coming down the front of the vehicle. There are two 15 mil bolts, one here and one here, and there's all on the sides. It's very simple. They're very easy to see. You just take them all out as they go, and then this whole pan will just drop down. Okay, so that's your driver's tire, passenger tire. We're walking underneath, and then you'll see this little section right here. Hold the light. Okay, this is your drain plug. It's a 13 millimeter bolt. Turn it loose, and then we'll get a pan below to catch the oil, and it's that easy. Alright, so I like to have a rag with me because chances are you're gonna get oil on you. It might go without saying, don't do this when it's like scalding hot. There we go. Not too bad. A little. Ooh, a little warm. Could have waited a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna loosen that to let all the air out. Hopefully that'll help. And then I do this as well. Pull this vacuum tube off to help drain it. Focus. This is your drain plug here. Main thing, let me get a little pointer. Main thing you want to check to make sure that your O-ring is not cracked and it's not like super flat. Hard to pick it up, but it still is a little higher than this bevel right here. That creates the seal so it doesn't leak. This one looks really great and I'm fine with using it again. Normally they suggest you change this out every oil change. Do what you want, but I'm running this one again. Okay, so it's important that you still leave that draining down below because when we take the oil filter out, you're still going to want to drain some more fluid. The oil filter takes an 1.25 inch socket. This you can just buy on its own. You don't need to buy a huge case because normally these come with like a larger socket set. So it's anything from like 2 inch to 1.1 inch or 1 inch, which can add up and it can be very expensive. But honestly, you can just buy this by itself and then have an attachment and then you're good to go. In a worst case scenario, you could use a Saskatchewan socket set or a thumb wrench, crescent wrench, and do it. But you don't want to strip these this hex on here, and I'll show you when you get it out why, because it's plastic and you just don't want to wreck it. So let's pull the oil filter off and then we can see and inspect that. So this is a 2017, and I think the later models have an update with the oil filter housing where when you're at the end of the threads, it actually pops and releases a spring. which drains all the old fluid down. This one doesn't have it, so you just have to be careful when you're pulling it off that it drains. That's why I have this light down here, just to see that the threads are all out and it's not burping, which it isn't, so we got it. And then it just pops, pulls right out. Let's go show you on the bench. Okay, so here we are. I'm gonna use some gloves, so just grab it, 2 fingers, and it will just pop right out. Oh man. See, I didn't wait too long enough and it's still smoking hot. Here's your oil filter. Easy peasy, right? But take your time. Don't just grab this, throw it out, slap the new one in. You can actually look at this, and this will tell you a lot about what's going on in your motor. So what I'm gonna do is set my little light up here. And then I'm gonna open these vanes up and look inside for anything super shiny or sparkly. What that is metal flakes. So if there's metal flakes going on in the motor, it's catching this, which means something's wrecking on the inside of your motor. Whether it be piston sleeves, rings, heads, something in the bearings, who knows, right? Metal is not good. I'm not seeing any flakes in here. The cost of oil is a lot less than the cost of a motor. So do your oil changes. This is great. I'm really happy with this. Perfect. This is the oil we're running, and of course a nice Wix filter. Screenshot it, that's your part number. Wix. Cannot recommend these enough. Do not use K&N, do not use cheap filters. Don't be cheap, buy the good stuff. And since it's a Euro motor, well, it's a Ford motor, but it's a Euro motor, I'm running liquid moly 540. Your manual is going to say 530. Highly recommend, if you have one of these motors, the diesels, run to 540. We should be done draining and we can put this in the motor. Let's do that. All right, first steps, put your filter in your housing. There is no orientation, there's no up and down. Just put it in and you'll hear it snap. That, and you're good to go. Put that aside. Just don't be jamming it. Just make sure it should just fall in nice and easy. Real easy. And just start screwing, make sure you're not cross thread. Okay, so I just bottomed out there. Now there is a 20 Newton meter torque spec. Basically that equates to herp, done. It does not take, does not take a lot. Got a funnel, make sure it's nice and clean, there's no debris in there because that'll go direction in your motor. Don't want to do that. Put it in there, let's get the oil. It should go without saying that you should have your drain plug in by this point. If you don't, you're on your own. This takes about 5.5 liters. So this and like 0.2. Okay, so we got oil in. Filtered. Always like to run the circle pump once. Then we fire it up. It's going to tick for just a bit while the oil circulates through the system. There, it's completely done. What I'll do is run it 1500 RPM. 1, 2, 3. Done. Kill it. Your oil change is done. All right, that was like a super quick walkthrough of changing oil on your TD6 or your Lion diesel motor for Land Rover. This is in Range Rovers, the Discovery. I can't remember what years they stopped making them, but again, it's designed to go through this suck tube, but I haven't seen a video showing people how to do it just through oil pan like normal, which it's totally doable, super easy. You don't need special equipment whatsoever. And just do it yourself, save yourself some money. You know, these Land Rovers have a bad rap that they're very expensive for maintenance and they're horrible vehicles and blah blah blah. They're not. They're super simple. Maintenance, maintenance, maintenance. Just do your regular service intervals. And this took me what, 12 minutes minus the shooting? Like, you can do this. You can do this. Leave a comment below if you work on these, some tips and tricks you have or whatever. Or if you have questions on any of the operations here, I'm happy to help. Happy to answer what I can. I'm not a mechanic. Don't take my word for the gospel, but pretty simple. See you in the next one.